Hey there, welcome back to E-commerce Mastery. Today, we're tackling a topic that is often overlooked, but absolutely crucial to your e-commerce strategy, and that is privacy policy pages. By the way, if you guys would like to get started on Shopify, we have a special link down below where you can get a free trial and your first month for just $1. You can check it out by going to our link and sign up right here. You'll also be getting a $50 credit in the Shopify App Store. So let's get started. Your privacy policy page is more than just a legal requirement. It's a way to build trust with your customers on how you collect, build, and use their personal information. It's important for you to learn how to create a privacy policy page that instills trust with your customers. First things first, let's talk about how to create your policy page. When you log into your Shopify dashboard, on the left bottom hand side of the screen, you're going to click Settings. Once you're in Settings, scroll down and navigate to the Policies tab. When you click on Policies, you will enter the page where all your policies are stored. I want you to scroll down until you find the privacy policy. From here, click Replace with Templates. As you can see, Shopify provides you with a privacy policy template that makes it super easy for you to create one. It is super important, however, to customize your policy so that it can reflect your specific legal practices. Please make sure that you don't just create from template and leave it like that. You are going to want to customize your policy, so make sure you go through it line by line. Your privacy policy page should include several key components, such as the type of information you collect, how you collect it, who you share it with, and how you protect it. You should also include any information about the cookies, analytics tools, and third-party services that you use on your site. For example, will you be using an email marketing tool that collects data for abandoned cart emails? If so, you should definitely include that in your privacy policy page. Basically, I want you to include anything and everything that tracks your customers on your site. Also, when you're writing your privacy policy or using this template, I really want you to use simple language that your customer can understand. Now let's go through this template that Shopify provides and see what needs to be customized. As you can see, what's highlighted in yellow is a note to the merchant. It's letting you know that you need to review and customize the content so it's tailored to your site and business practices regarding how you collect, use, and disclose personal data. They also make clear that this template is not legal advice and you are solely responsible for ensuring that you meet your obligations under applicable laws. Another great reminder that they have here is that the privacy laws are constantly evolving and you really need to regularly review your privacy notice to ensure it's compliant with these updated laws. Once you have reviewed this highlighted section, go ahead and delete. From here, we will have a last updated section with the date font in green. Please delete that and add your actual date into the template. From here, just go ahead and read through each paragraph and block so that you truly understand what this policy is. This privacy policy describes how YouTube demos, this is the Shopify site I'm currently using for this demo, collects, uses, and discloses your personal information when you visit, use our services, or make a purchase. Please read this privacy policy carefully. By using and accessing any of the services, you agree to the collection, use, and disclosure of your information as described in the policy. So basically just reiterating everything we've already gone through. The changes to this privacy policy section is just letting your customers know that you may update this policy from time to time. This next section, how we collect and use your personal information, will go over the different services and platforms that you use to collect this information and how you're going to use it. Firstly, it'll go over what kind of personal information that you're going to be collecting. So information we collect directly from you includes basic contact details, order information, account information, shipping information, and customer support information. And now it's going to let them know how you're planning on collecting it. So information that we collect are through cookies. This policy is also letting your customers know that there will be some information obtained through third parties. Next up on the policy is how we use your personal information. This section right here is just letting your customer know that they're using this information to provide the products and services, such as recommending different products. We're using the information to gather data for marketing and advertising purposes. We're using the information for security and fraud prevention. And lastly, for communicating with you. The next section goes over cookies, and it's just letting your customer know that most browsers will automatically accept cookies by default, but that they can choose to set their browser to remove and reject cookies. The next section is important as it goes over how we disclose personal information. As you can see here, there is a section that's highlighted with a note to merchant. The note to merchant states, insert the following sentence if you're using Shopify's ad services, such as Shopify Audiences. For example, you can write something like, we use Shopify to support personalized advertising with third-party services. A question to ask yourself is, will I be using or plan to use Shopify Audiences for ad services? If so, go ahead and drop that sentence in. For the purpose of this video, I will just be deleting. In this section, there will be several other highlighted sections. Further down in this section, there will also be another note to merchant that asks you to insert the following paragraph and chart if using those ad services, such as Shopify Audiences, or engaging in any activity that may be considered selling or sharing personal information. For the purpose of this video, I will be deleting this section. However, I highly recommend you review it and add it into your policy page if you're planning on using any ad services. The next section goes over user-generated content. It just lets your customer know that services may enable you to post product reviews and other user-generated content. They're letting the customer know that if they choose to submit this content to any public area of the services, this content will be public and accessible by anyone. While this information may seem redundant, it is very important for us to include this so that your customers know that whenever they post something online, that you can no longer keep their privacy in place. The next section is third-party websites and links, and it's just reminding the customer that if they choose to follow a link outside of your page, it will be important for them to review that site's privacy policy as well. The children's data section on your Shopify's privacy policy is also very important. Let's review it. The services are not intended to be used by children, and we do not knowingly collect any personal information about children. If you are the parent or guardian of a child who has provided us with their personal information, you may contact us to set out requests that it's deleted. In this section, there is a note to merchant that if your website is directed to children, that more specific disclosures will be required and that you should consult with a legal counsel. For the purpose of this video, I will be removing that note to merchant. A security and retention of your information section just lets your customer know that no security measures are perfect. Then we go on to rights and choices. This goes over your customers' different rights and choices that they may have. This next section will also have a note to merchant, just letting you know that if you are using ad services such as Shopify Audiences, that you need to insert the paragraph below, which goes over your right to opt out of sale or sharing or targeting advertising. There's another note to merchant that says if you collect information that may be deemed sensitive, there may be additional consents and disclosures required, which includes the right to limit and or opt out of use and disclosure of sensitive personal information. Since this Shopify demo store is not running any ads, I will be deleting this section. Lastly, this section will have another note to merchant that asks you to insert the following sentence if you're using Shopify ad services such as Shopify Audiences. And it's really just letting the customer know that you are in fact using that service. Next, we have the complaints section, which is really just informing your customer that if they have a complaint on how you process their personal information, that they can contact you and that they have a right to appeal any type of decisions you make. There is a note to international users, which may not apply to everybody since many of the Shopify stores start with just selling in the United States, but it's just letting them know that personal information is also processed by staff and third-party services. Lastly, there's a contact section. So this section is super important. You're going to want to add your phone number, address if you have a physical retail location, and an email. There's also a note to merchant asking that you insert the following sentence if your site is governed by GDPR. For the purpose of this video, I will be deleting that as well. Once we have gone through the privacy policy page line by line and you are happy with how it's turned out, please click save. The next step is to add your privacy policy page to your footer menu, and then also make sure you link that menu into your footer on your site. Let me show you how you can do that. I want you to navigate to the left-hand side of the screen and click Online Store. From here, click on Navigation. You will typically see a main menu and a footer menu. So let's click on Footer menu. You're going to want to click on Add Menu Item, and you can type in Privacy Policy, and then I want you to link your policies and privacy policy. And you just click Add and Save. Once you've added your privacy policy to your footer menu, you can go to your online store and click on Customize. I want you to scroll down to where your footer normally is. You can also see that on the left-hand side of the screen. You can add a block, you can add your menu, and you can connect the menu here that you will be selecting. As you can see, we now have our privacy policy linked to our footer on our website. Click Save, and you are all set up. Now that your privacy policy page is created, I want to remind you that this is not a one and done task. You'll need to regularly review it and update it to make sure you're staying compliant with the ever-changing privacy laws. And don't forget to update your customer whenever you make changes. And there you have it. Creating a privacy policy page does not have to be a daunting task on Shopify. With the right tools and guidance, you can create a privacy policy page that not only protects you, but builds trust with your customer. If you have any questions or want to see more videos like this, let us know in the comments below. And again, if you haven't signed up for Shopify, we have a special link down below where you can get your first 3 days free and your first month for only $1. Also, be sure to check out the links to our favorite e-commerce tools. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for joining me.